So I'm very, very happy to be practicing with y'all. Again, I love practicing with you each week. And today, it's the beginning of the new year. And just because the calendar flips doesn't always mean, for me at least, that I am ready and raring to go with all the new energy of like resolutions and a lot of times I'm more in tune with kind of how it is outside with nature. And right now it's still pretty cold. It's still dark more than it is light. Everything is still in nature. And so I feel like if there's some fiery energy that wants to make goals and resolutions, that's wonderful. But more for me, there's this beautiful Sanskrit word called Sankalpa that I love to contemplate at this time of year. And Sankalpa it really means like a deep inner resolve, or like your innermost values and the things that you love so much that that's how you want to be in the world. And so as you move through life, you really focus on joy or love or connection with people. Maybe it's creativity that you feel like you really want to express yourself. Maybe there's a sense of helping people, or anything that is like a deep inner value and way and intention of how you want to move through the world. That's Sankalpa. And it's just different than, sometimes my New Year's resolutions have been, lose 10 pounds or, do more yoga, or, they're goal oriented, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a beautiful book by Danielle Laporte where she says, a lot of times goals, once we get there, we kind of go, it's not what I thought it'd be anyway. We maybe set up a different goal or feel like we haven't really achieved something. And she says it's because we're really looking for a feeling. So losing 10 pounds, we're looking for abundant health. And abundant health is more in tune with a Sankalpa, with like this residing intention or resolve that you have inside you as a way you want to live in the world. So today we'll play around with this concept. There's no pressure to know what your Sankalpa is. It's more like we have an hour to indulge in contemplating, how do I want to move through this world? What do I love? And we're still in winter. We have plenty of time to think this through. We have our whole lives. So we'll play with it today on the mat. And if you would like to do the Sankalpa mudra, take your left hand. I'm not going to mirror you because it's hand specific. So take your left hand with the palm facing up. Cross it over your heart, gathering your heart's desires. And then bring it to your lap. I'm standing, so I'm just going to raise my leg, but bring the back of your palm to your right leg. Now take your right hand and gently descend and ground that heart's desire. Seal the heart's desire and the grounded manifestation of it in the mudra and rest it on your right leg. Close your eyes and go in. As you focus on your inhales and your exhales, take a little scan of how you're feeling right now. This is your hour to really rest in your own awareness. So let any busyness of the day fall away. If there's any little aches or pains in your body, bring your breath to that space. If you would like to join me for one Om, please inhale deeply through your nose and exhale fully through your mouth. And inhale for Om. Om. Please continue to focus on your breath all throughout class. If you have your eyes closed, feel free to flutter them open and you can release Sankalpa Mudra. And we're going to start standing just to get a little energy flowing. So come to your feet on your mat and maybe stand a little bit wider than hips distance for balance. And just start to gently twist and let your arms go side to side, gently tapping your body as they move around. And then let them start to ascend so they come up to heart level. And then gently tap your heart as your hand comes toward it. And you can lift a foot and just gently go side to side. Whatever feels natural in your body here to just get some heat going. And do a little twisting of our torso. We're going to get some of that stagnant energy. If you have anything from this slow, cold time of year kind of stuck in your body, we're just going to get it flowing here in the beginning. And connect to your heart. Next time you go to this one side, start to just inhale one way and exhale on the other side. So, now do 2 inhales. And of course, 2 exhales. And back to 1 on each side. Slowly let your arms come back down. And once you reach bottom, you can sort of shake out your shoulders if you'd like. And we're going to activate our core to help with some balancing poses today by opening your heart. So do cactus arms, tilt your elbows forward, and then wrap your shoulder blades back. Keep your chin tucked so you're not dipping your head back, and just do a mini back bend, whatever feels good here. Then come up to standing and take your left elbow to your right knee and then bring it down. Cactus your arms in between. Do the second side, right elbow, left knee, cactus in between. Feel free to go with your own pace here, but bring awareness to your core. So go slowly enough that you exhale as your elbows touch your knee, and inhale, open. And just bring the navel toward the spine as you exhale. And get general awareness to your torso and this little twist. Your legs waked up, your hips moving. Do a couple more here. All right, and then release your hands to a bind behind your back. Step your feet into hips width distance and open your heart. Keep the chin tucked, pull the navel towards the spine. Turn all the muscles on in your legs. Root down through your feet into the mat. And as you open your heart and your shoulders here, start to exhale and fold forward. Once you're forward, your hands can stay bound. They may fall forward like mine or rest at your hips. Keep your shoulders pulled away from your ears. And if you want, bend like your right leg, let your arms dip over to that side. Twist a little open. Inhale back to center. And if you're doing this, do the second side, bend the left leg. Let the shoulders open to the right. Come back to center and release your hands down to the mat slowly. Take an inhale, drink in some pranayama. And exhale, come down to the mat, knees down to table. Let's do a few rounds of cat-cow here. So with your wrist creases aligned with the short edge of your mat, Toes tucked. Inhale your heart forward and your sits bones back. Exhale, really pull the navel toward your spine as you flex it up towards the sky. Again, follow your own breathing pattern to move in between these really common and well-known poses. And add any spinal movements here that will help you get the energy going. Your figure eights, big circumduction rolls. Just get your spine moving and waked up. All right. Next time you come through center, walk your hands forward. So we'll come into this supported plank. Shift your hips forward, keep your knees down now. And let's pulse a little bit from here to child's pose. So exhale, bring your hips towards your knees. Keep the arms active, elbows up. Inhale, come back to that supported plank. If you want to add a mini push-up, feel free. Exhale, press it back. Inhale, roll it forward. Let your hips dip down maybe a little instead of the push-up or both. Exhale back. Inhale forward. This is sort of like a cobra primer. So let your hips come down. Roll your shoulders back, heart open. Exhale back. Just pulse a few more times here, playing around with what is your heart desire to get. Your spine moving, some more energy flowing. All right. Next time you're in the supported plank, walk your hands back to table and inhale your left arm high. Follow it with your gaze. Exhale, thread that hand under the other for thread the needle. In this pose, the left arm is under, the right hand can come to fingertips. And if you have your hand on fingertips, you can press as much as your heart desires to create a twist here. It's mainly a shoulder opener for the back side of that right shoulder blade, but you can play around with a twist if it feels okay. Breathe deeply into the back side of your body. It's a little hard in twists, so bring some intention to it. And when you're ready, use your right hand to press you up. Do a big round of cow here in tabletop. And exhale. And back to neutral for the second side. Inhale the right hand up. Exhale, thread it under the left. Bring that right shoulder down. Tint those left fingers. Do your version. This thread the needle pose to twist out any energy that's cold and dark and ready to be moved and flow. When you feel about even, press through the left hand to come back up. One more deep cow pose and cat. And then walk your hands back. Keep your toes tucked. Come up on your knees. You might feel a little opening in the fascia on the bottom of your feet. Inhale your hands up high. Take your right wrist and press it over to the left. It's a little side bend on our knees, opening up the fascial lines at the bottom of our feet while we open up the side body. Inhale, come through center, cactus your arms in between sides. Tip the elbows forward, wrap the shoulder blades back. You can do a little back bend or whatever feels good here. Inhale up for the second side. Crescent over. That fascia at the bottom of our feet connects all the way along the back side of our body. So as we open the bottoms of our feet, we also open our spine and then we open it as we crescent over as well. Inhale back through center. One more big heart opener. Opening to your Sankalpa, your deepest values. Inhale up. Exhale, hands come through the heart, back down to the mat, and walk forward for your first downward facing dog. So tuck your toes, align your wrist creases, and press your hips up and back. Take a few moments to pedal it out. And when you're ready, let's do 3 Shakti waves. So inhale, roll forward to plank pose. Note here that your plank, your feet and hands may feel like they're further apart. This is a great distance for you to keep in down dog 2 if it feels okay for your body. Exhale, bend your knees, press up and back, down dog again. Take a big inhale and a full exhale. And then roll forward, Shakti wave. Shakti is the creative energy force in the universe. It's one of my favorite ways to feel. Exhale, press your hips up and back. And this time, walk your hands to the back of the mat. With your feet still hips width distance, inhale, halfway lift. Palms can come to the shins or fingers to the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands high overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. You're at the back of your mat. Let's do another standing side crescent. We're going to add a piece of this. So inhale your hands up high. Step your right foot behind your left and crescent to the left. You might feel a bigger opening on the side body now. Inhale, press through the left foot, reach up high, cactus in between. What is your deepest resolve? And no pressure to know it, but just contemplate. Inhale, reach up, switch sides. The left foot goes behind. You're on that pinky toe side of the foot as you open up. Feeling it maybe through the hip area. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, hands through the heart. Fold forward. Walk your hands forward as you inhale. Come back to plank. Lower your knees down or keep them up. We're lowering to the mat, chaturanga. Keep your elbows by your side as you exhale. Untuck your toes. Pull back with your hands isometrically so your shoulders roll back and your heart opens. Cobra. You can stay low or come high. Exhale down to the mat. Spread your fingers wide. Come out to the corners of your mat and inhale again for gecko pose. Let's take a few looks back at the year in gecko. Exhale, dip your right shoulder and look over your left. Inhale through center. Exhale, dip your left shoulder, look over your right. Follow your desired pattern here to do a few more of these glances back. To maybe remember things that you loved in 2022 and ways that you want to bring that energy forward. Things that feel related to your Sankalpa. All right. You feel even on both sides. Exhale, come down to the mat. Walk your hands all the way back, fingers facing backwards like you're playing the piano backwards. Doing a back strengthener here. So inhale, take your heart up, your hands up, your legs up. Shalabhasana, locust pose. If this is intense this early in the practice, feel free to drop either your hands or your feet and just do half of the back bend and honor what your heart wants right now. If you're in Shalabhasana, take one more big inhale and release, exhale. Bring your hands back by your chest, tuck your toes, press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale to come high on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, let all the air out, and hop or step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift at the top. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands high overhead. And exhale, fold all the way back down. One more inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. One more, rise up. And this time, sit back into chair pose. So shift your weight into your heels. Sit back, keep your hands up high. Heart is open in chair pose. Pull your knees toward one another. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step back to plank pose. Take a full deep inhale. And then lower down. Feel free to drop your knees if you like. Untuck your toes. One big breath, cobra pose. Heart open. Exhale down to the mat. Tuck your toes. Press your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Enjoy a full round of breath. And then inhale your right leg high. Exhale, step up between your hands, drop your back foot and rise up, warrior two. Let's take just a moment to find our foundation, that value in the pose that we can return to throughout many poses. So knee over ankle, the front knee's bent at 90 degrees. It's over your ankle in line with your second and third toe. Your torso is aligned up over your hips. The hips are open, the back leg, the top of the trochanter, the femur bone is aligned with your knee and the ankle. Take your arms out, gaze forward. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands back down, step the right leg back down low. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, knees up or down, elbows by your side. Untuck the toes, cobra pose, heart open. Exhale, tuck the toes, press up and back, downward facing dog. Next time you inhale, take the left leg high, Ikapana. Exhale, step it through, drop the back foot, rise up, warrior two, second side, your left leg is forward. Find your foundation. Ground yourself in this alignment. Pull the shoulder blades back, from your navel towards your spine. Pull the feet toward one another to create that pull towards the center line, the place where our core values reside. Exhale, cartwheel your hands back down, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, high on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, hop or step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chair pose. Seat back, weight in your heels. Reach the arms forward, sit back just a little more. Exhale, stand in mountain pose. Roll your shoulders back. Find your breath. What is one of your biggest intentions? Your deepest resolves? We'll do one more round of this Surya Namaskar B. I'm modifying it with warrior two today. So inhale your hands up high. Exhale, sit back, chair pose. Take a big inhale here. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then step back to plank, Halakasana. Lower down on your next exhale, elbows by the side. Untuck the toes, shoulders back, heart open in cobra. Exhale, come to the mat, tuck your toes, press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high, Ekapada Adho Uttanasana. Exhale, step it forward, drop the back foot, take one big breath in warrior two. Find your alignment, align to those perfect ways that your body feels here. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back, down dog. Inhale to roll forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, knees up or down. Untuck the toes, big open-hearted cobra. Exhale, feel free to lower to the mat or just roll up and over your toes back to downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, step it through. Drop the back foot. Rise up. Warrior two. One big drink of pranayama life force in your warrior pose. And then exhale, hands to the mat, step back, down dog again. Inhale high on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees and hop or step to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, chair pose. Hips back, heart forward, hands high. And next time you exhale, press up, mountain pose. Open your heart. Return to your breath. Tune into your feelings and let them be your guide to let your Sankalpa reveal itself. Inhale your hands up high. Exhale, fold all the way forward. We're going to get into functional forward fold a new way. So step back about halfway down your mat and line the pinky toe sides of your foot with the mat. Walk your hands back so all the weight is in the four corners of your feet. And then shift the weight in your heels, extend your hands out forward, and then shift your hips behind your ankles. In this pose, pulling the shins toward one another and pressing the inner thighs out and back helps really activate and strengthen that whole posterior chain of muscles. It strengthens and activates the L4, L5 region and opens and elongates your spine. Enjoy one more deep inhale, full exhale. Then inhale to bring your weight back to all four corners of your feet, palms to your shins, halfway lift. Fold as you exhale. And inhale, come up high. Exhale, hands to heart and step into about hips width distance. I'm going to do a thigh stretch and challenge our balance, but we're really more going for the quad stretch. So if your balance is wonky today, just hold on to a wall or a couch or something. Put all of the weight into your right foot. Inhale, take your hands to your heart and bring your left leg up. Stare at something that's not moving. Pull your navel towards your spine, press the hands in. And then reach with that left hand for the ankle. You can take the other hand high and bring the heel towards the bone for a standing quad opener. If your quad feels pretty tight, sometimes kicking into your hand for a moment, it's like a dancer pose. You can even lean forward if you want. And then returning to the quad stretch can help deepen and activate that muscle a little bit more. Like the activation helps you stretch it more deeply. Try one more breath. And then slowly release that foot down, kick it out. Inhale your hands up high, put all your weight into the left foot. Find your Twisty, that focal point, pull your navel towards your spine, and then lift the right leg high. Take the same hand down to hold the heel for the second side of this big quad opener, challenging our balance. The Sankalpa can really guide us in life toward more balance. When we take the time to really think about how we want to move in this world, where we want to come from, it can really help us make decisions that create better balance. Say yes to what we want to and no to what doesn't fit in. Release, shake it out. All right, and come to the front of your mat if you're not already there. Inhale your hands up high. Exhale, forward fold, all the way down. We're gonna come into chair pose again. So exhale, bring your hips back, but this time bring your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra. Really pull the knees toward one another. You can even bring the feet to touch, but try to just keep it at the 2 front toes so your ankles don't bang into each other. In chair pose, keep pressing into your hands, squeezing the legs together. And if you would like, let's add a twist. So I'm not gonna mirror you, the left elbow to the right knee. Keep the hands pressing into each other and let them help you open that twist up to the right. If you want to extend the hands long instead of pressing them in together, you can play with that. It's more of a heart opener. And wherever you are, release, come back through chair. Exhale, stand in mountain. Find your breath. Inhale your hands up high. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale to halfway lift. And then come back to chair with hands at your heart. Again, squeeze toward your center. This time the right elbow might come outside of the left knee. Hands still in that prayer mudra, helping twist out any stagnant energy or old beliefs that might stand in the way of you really dreaming about your heart's desire. You can play with the opening of your wings if you like. And then bring the hands down, come back through chair, and stand in mountain. Connect to your breath. Inhale your hands up high. If you're not at the front of the mat, come there. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale to step back to downward facing dog. Feel free to take some Shakti waves here or just stay in down dog. You see whether it feels like more of a cold, quiet winter moment, and respect that. The Shakti waves sound fun. Do 2 or 3. And then let's all meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high, internally rotating it as it rises. Exhale, step through, right hand between. This time keep the left hand grounded. Twist the right arm open, go around the rib cage. Open your heart toward the sky. Exhale, bring that right hand to frame the foot, straighten the front leg. Now here's where if you have blocks, you might put them under your hands. You can also come down if you want to bend the back knee and shift your hips back. That's also a big hamstring opener. If you're in pyramid with both legs long, press through the toe pads to create the internal rotation. You can keep your heart high or fold in. And the next time you inhale, bend that front knee, drop the back foot, rise up into warrior two. Inhale to take a reverse top arm back. Exhale, come through center. Elbow to knee, other arm high, side angle. Feel free to take that bottom arm to the floor too. Press to the front foot, inhale, rise up, straighten the front leg, reverse triangle, top arm with the palm facing down. Inhale back through center. Now shift the back hip back, reach the front arm forward, micro bend that front arm for triangle. Take the front hand down. It can be on a block, it can be against any part of your leg or the floor, but you want your heart and your hips open. So if you come down really far and everything folds in, come up a little higher to keep that opening. Press through the power of your front leg. Inhale back through standing. Bend the front knee and cartwheel your hands down. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high, Utkapada. Exhale, step through. This time the right hand stays grounded. Inhale the left arm high, twist open. Exhale, left hand frames the front. Another big hamstring opener, your left leg's forward this time. Pyramid. Fold in, or keep your heart open and long. And indulge in what makes your heart happy. All right, when you're ready, inhale, bend that front knee, drop the back foot for a warrior two. This time the left leg's bent. Inhale, reverse your warrior, top arm back. Come back through warrior two, elbow to knee, other arm high. Of course, you can bring the fingers to the floor if that feels good. Press through that front foot, rise up, straighten the leg, reverse triangle. Inhale through center, micro bend, shift the back hip back, reach forward, opening your heart and hips in this triangle pose with the left leg in front. Press through your foot, use your abs, rise back up, bend the front knee, cartwheel the hands down. Let's take a much well-deserved child's pose. Knees wide, toes touch, hips to heels. What values make you feel the most authentic? Enjoy one more deep inhale and full exhale. And then inhale up through table, move the knees toward the center, tuck your toes. Come back to a downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high. This time bend at the knee and open your hip. Pull the heel towards the bum. Keep the right shoulder level with the left to get hiked up. Re-extend the leg, internally rotate your leg again, and step forward. We're gonna rise up, high crescent, so stay high on your back toes, activate all your muscles, pull your navel towards your spine for balance, and rise up as you inhale. Take a moment here to feel the strength. Your front foot's pushing into the mat, your back hamstrings pushing towards the sky. Pull your rib cage in, navel in, reach up. If you want to stay here, do. If you'd like to play with a twist, take your hands to your heart. And like we did in chair pose, take that elbow to the outside of your knee. You can press the hands together to help with the twist. You can extend the arms, one up, one down. Then bring the hands back together if they're apart. Press up, come back through high crescent lunge. We're gonna open up to star, so press through your front feet, take up space, move your feet so they're parallel, both facing forward. Exhale, slowly fold down for a wide-legged forward fold. Enjoy a deep inhale and full exhale. And then walk your hands toward the back of your mat. Bend that front knee and step back, down dog facing the back. Take a moment to just orient yourself. And then inhale the left leg high. Bend at the knee, open your hip. Extend the leg back out long and internally rotate it. Step forward between your hands. Stay high on the back toes. Press through the front feet, eyes up. High crescent lunge with a new perspective. Exhale, twist or just stay here. Bring the right elbow outside the left knee. Press into the hands. Keep pressing with that back hamstring towards the ceiling. You can extend the arms long if it feels okay. Then bring them back. Press through the front foot. Rise up, high crescent lunge. Bring it to star again, opening up, taking up space. Open to your heart's desire. Another wide-legged forward fold. Feel free to take a bind if you'd like. And release your fingers the second way, not the way you did the first time this morning. The open heart, fold forward. Keep the hands in the bind if you'd like. You can also release them. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. And release the bind. Hands can come under your face. Inhale to halfway lift. And walk your hands back toward the front. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, last chance for those creative Shakti waves. Feel free to just stay in dog. You can take child's pose or just move through a few repetitions. Down dog to plank. And next time you're in plank, lower down, child's pose again. Toes touch, knees come wide, forehead grounds on the earth. Next time you inhale, walk yourself up. We're going to make our way to a comfortable seat. So feel free to just swivel the legs or come to your sits bones any way that feels okay. Extend your left leg out. You can bend the right leg. If you do, press that pinky toe side to the floor. Find your sits bones. You can literally move the flesh out of the way to internally rotate. Bring your hands behind to open up your heart. Flex both feet. Take your left hand high and crescent over. Top arm has the palm facing down. You can play with the twist here using that left arm to press against the left leg. And then inhale, slowly come up. Turn your whole torso to face that leg and fold forward. In this forward fold, press with your groins back. Press with that little heel up front, the bottom of your foot. Press it out. You might feel a big opening in the whole posterior chain. Release and walk yourself up slowly. Take a hip opener, bring that foot to touch the other. Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. And press your hips back here. It's okay if your knees don't come close to the earth. It's a hip opener. Put your shoulder blades back, open your heart. And then take the right leg out for the second side. Keep pressing the pinky toe side, your left foot down. Hands back to really create space in your spine. Right hand high. And exhale, crescent over. Twisting out any limiting beliefs. Inhale back through center. Turn your torso, fold forward. You feel about even. Walk your hands back up. Take one more breath in butterfly pose. Maybe do a little scan of your body. See how it feels. Then let's make our way to our backs. So any way that feels good, please come first just to ground and feel the support, the earth under your mat. Let's do one round of bridge to give us an energizing back bend to take us through the rest of the day. So bend both legs at the knees, bring the heels close to the bum. Squeeze the knees toward one another and then bend your arms, triceps down, your palms face in like little robot arms. See if you feel space in your spine. If it feels a little compact, walk your shoulders up without moving your hips, just to create that space, that longness, that distance between the vertebrae. Then press through your feet, take your hips up towards the ceiling. Keep the chin away from the chest, keep staring up. If you already have the practice of intertwining your hands behind your back in the bind, feel free to go for it. If you want to try some of that, first reach down for the sides of your mat. As you hold the edges, see if it can help you open up your heart and your shoulders by rolling them under. Sometimes our pecs are very, very tight here. So if it doesn't feel right, if your shoulders just don't want to go there, you don't need to do this part of it. Bridge is a huge energizing back bend. The hand bind is just extra. If you have the edges of your mat and you want to intertwine your fingers behind your back, walk your shoulders under even more. Press with your hips up, pull the knees toward one another. And take one more deep round of breath. If your hands are bound, release them, walk your shoulders flat, and everyone bring your hips down to the floor. Take a moment in constructive rest by letting your knees touch. You can widen the distance between your feet. This just gives the lower spine a moment to recalibrate, to get back to its natural curvature after the back bend. Bring your arms up in the cactus, open your heart. Keeping your feet wide, let the knees fall over to the right for a gentle final twist. If you want to bring a little more depth, you can take the bottom right foot on top of the left. Gently press against it. You might feel that on the outer thigh, outer glute. You can look up, you can look to the left. You have the right foot on top of the left knee, please release it, bring it down again in that wide stance, and inhale the knees back through center. Exhale the knees to the left, feet are still, they're not hips or mats distance apart. And this twist with your knees toward the left, feel free to take the bottom left heel on top of the right outer knee. And feel free to look to the right if all of those feel like your heart's desire right now. Release the top leg if you have it. Inhale the knees through center. Take a moment. Let the bottom of your spine connect with the mat. Keeping that spinal connection, especially at the sacrum, the bottom of your spine. Bring both feet up for happy baby. Keep pressing the bottom of your spine against the mat. Hold either behind the hamstrings, the outer leg, or the sides of the feet. Keep the spine long by pressing with your tailbone down and pressing your head in the opposite direction. Hold down with your fingers and press up with your feet or legs. Did a couple of wide-legged forward folds. So if you want to play with that here in happy baby, you can extend one leg at a time or both legs long. Feel free to rock side to side or anything that you want to do, any pose that feels good on your body here before final rest. When you're ready, please release all effort. Extend your legs out long, let your feet fall open, arms by your side, palms open. Stay a few minutes in this beautiful pose where our body tunes in to all that effort and alignment. And it uses it to teach our body about how to move forward in the world. So rest. A few minutes. Feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. If you're ready to close together, please bring awareness back to your breath. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes or stretch your arms long. And when you're ready, roll to one side. Bend both knees and come to a little fetal position. Press yourself up to a comfortable seat with a long spine. Bring your hands to your heart, Anjali Mudra, Mudra of offering. May these practices of yoga help us discern and be in touch with our Sankalpa, with our deepest resolve. And may it help us as we move forward on our path with our most authentic expressions. May this be not only of benefit for us, but for all beings. Thank you all so much for practicing today. Namaste.